Real change doesn't always take years. Sometimes just a few small but intentional habits can shift your mindset and energy in as little as 7 days. We are often told that transformation is slow, that it takes decades of struggle, or that success only belongs to those who grind endlessly for years. But that is only one side of the truth. The other side is that transformation can happen faster than you imagine when you start doing the right things with intensity and consistency. It's not about changing everything at once. It's about changing a few things that matter the most. Think about it. How many years have slipped by with you repeating the same routines, the same thought patterns, and the same habits that don't serve you? Then suddenly, when you decide to shift even one habit, you feel different within days. That's the power of alignment. Your life doesn't improve because of wishful thinking. It improves because of action, because of decisions, because of habits that slowly begin to rewire how you think and how you live. When you introduce a habit that pushes you toward growth, the change is visible almost immediately. Wake up earlier for a week, and you'll feel like you own more of your time. Read something uplifting for a week, and your perspective begins to shift. Exercise consistently for a week, and you carry yourself with more energy and confidence. The results aren't small. They are significant because habits compound quickly. Just 7 days of living intentionally can show you what's possible when you stop drifting and start directing your life. Most people overestimate what they can do in one day and underestimate what they can do in 1 week. They think 1 week is too short to matter, but the truth is, 1 week of the right actions can reset your direction completely. If you eat poorly for a week, your body feels heavy. If you surround yourself with negativity for a week, your mind feels drained. But on the flip side, if you fill your week with habits that strengthen your body, sharpen your mind, and fuel your spirit, you feel a surge of possibility. You realize you are not as stuck as you thought. You realize momentum can be built faster than you believed. The key is to choose habits that create ripple effects. A habit isn't just an isolated action, it's a trigger that influences your entire day. For example, starting your morning with focus and discipline sets a tone for the rest of the day. That one habit affects how you think, how you work, and how you interact. Drinking more water, moving your body, journaling your thoughts, practicing gratitude, these are not just tasks on a checklist. They are signals to your brain that you are living with intention, that you are no longer on autopilot, that you are building a new version of yourself. What makes habits powerful is not that they are difficult, but that they are simple and repeatable. Anyone can do them, but not everyone does. And the moment you choose to do them daily, you separate yourself from the crowd. In just a week, you start to notice the difference between drifting through life and driving your life. You feel more present, more capable, more focused. That's not because life magically changed, but because you changed the way you show up. The mind is quick to adapt. It resists change at first, but once it feels the benefits, it begins to crave the new habit. That is why 1 week is enough to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. 1 week is enough to show you that discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. It is the ability to direct your energy where it matters most instead of wasting it on things that drain you. When you commit to even 3 small habits for 7 days, you experience proof, and proof builds belief. You no longer say, maybe I can change. You begin to say, I am changing right now. That shift in belief is the most powerful transformation of all, because once you believe, you don't stop. You keep going, you add more habits, you build more momentum, and what started as 1 week becomes 1 month. What started as 1 month becomes 1 year, and suddenly your life looks nothing like it did before. So don't underestimate the power of 1 week. Don't believe the lie that meaningful change takes forever. Yes, big results take time, but visible results, emotional results, mental results, they can happen in just days if you choose to live differently. All it takes is small but intentional habits practiced with consistency. You may think it's too simple, but that's why it works. It's not about changing everything overnight. It's about changing something today, repeating it tomorrow, and letting the days stack until you realize you are living a new life. The key is not in complexity, but in consistency. Simple habits practiced daily create visible transformation fast. We often think the answers to a better life must be complicated. hidden inside some secret formula, or locked away in the routines of the world's most successful people. But the truth is far simpler. Change doesn't come from doing 100 things once. Change comes from doing a few things. The right things every single day until they become a part of who you are. Most people struggle not because they don't know what to do, but because they don't do what they know consistently. You already know eating healthier is better for you. You already know moving your body will give you energy. You already know focusing on your goals instead of distractions will get you closer to success. Yet the challenge is not knowledge, it is consistency. Knowledge without action is useless. Action without consistency is weak. But when you combine action with consistency, even the smallest habits become powerful. Think of water dripping on stone. One drop means nothing. But drop after drop, day after day, the stone begins to erode. The same is true of habits. Reading one page may seem small, but reading one page every day for a year equals an entire book. Exercising for 10 minutes may feel insignificant, but 10 minutes a day compounds into hours of strength and fitness. Writing one sentence may feel unimportant, but sentences turn into pages, and pages turn into books. Complexity is never the answer. Simplicity, repeated, creates transformation. The problem with complexity is that it overwhelms. People try to change their entire life in one day. They set massive goals, design elaborate routines, and when they can't maintain them, they quit. They believe they have failed, but in reality, they set themselves up for failure by confusing complexity with effectiveness. Success doesn't come from doing everything perfectly at once. It comes from doing something consistently even when it's small. Consistency builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds identity. And once your identity begins to shift, your habits become natural. At first, it's difficult. Waking up early, eating differently, studying daily, your mind and body resist. But when you stay consistent long enough, it stops being something you do and becomes who you are. That shift is the real transformation. Look at the most successful people in any field. They are not extraordinary because they did something once in a dramatic way. They are extraordinary because they mastered the art of showing up every day. Athletes don't win championships because of one training session. They win because of thousands of consistent practices. Writers don't publish books because of one night of inspiration. They publish because of consistent hours at the desk. Leaders don't build influence because of one speech. They build it because of consistent actions that align with their vision. Consistency creates trust, both with yourself and with others. When you show up daily, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, that your word matters, that you can be counted on. That self-trust is priceless. Without it, you feel stuck and powerless. With it, you feel capable of taking on anything. And when others see your consistency, they begin to respect you, believe in you, and even follow you. The secret is to start simple. Choose habits so small that you cannot fail. Want to read more? Start with 5 minutes. Want to get healthier? Start with a 10-minute walk. Want to improve your mindset? Start with one daily affirmation. It may seem too easy, but that is the point. Complexity makes you quit, simplicity keeps you moving, and once you're moving, consistency takes over. Many people underestimate the power of small daily habits because they don't see results immediately. But transformation is like planting a seed. For days or weeks, you may not see anything above the soil, but beneath the surface, roots are forming. The growth is invisible at first, but it's happening, and then suddenly, one day, you see the sprout. That is the moment you realize all those consistent actions mattered. Success is not a single event. Success is a series of invisible steps that suddenly become visible. So instead of asking, what massive thing can I do today? Ask, what simple thing can I repeat every day? Because the results that last are not built on intensity, they are built on consistency. The body you want, the career you desire, the relationships you dream of, the mindset you seek, all of it is built on daily habits repeated over time. Not once, not sometimes, but every day. If you can learn to love consistency, everything else becomes easier. You don't need to chase motivation. You don't need to wait for inspiration. You simply trust the process, knowing that every small action repeated is moving you closer to your vision. And once you begin to see the progress, once you feel the shift, you will understand why the real key to transformation is not in doing more, but in doing less, consistently, until it changes you from the inside out. When you commit to actions that align with growth, you begin to notice immediate shifts in focus, confidence, and motivation. Most people underestimate how quickly life can begin to change when you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter and start putting your energy where it actually counts. The moment you take responsibility and decide that your actions must match the person you want to become, everything around you begins to shift. You start to notice clarity where there used to be confusion. You start to feel energy where there used to be exhaustion. And you begin to build confidence simply because your daily choices are no longer working against you, but working for you. Focus sharpens the moment you align your actions with growth. Distractions that once consumed hours of your day suddenly look less attractive because you are committed to something bigger. That commitment creates a filter. You no longer say yes to every invitation, every demand, or every shiny distraction. You begin to ask yourself, does this move me closer to who I want to be, or does it pull me further away? That single question alone can change the way you spend your time. The more your actions align with growth, the more your mind learns to lock in on what truly matters. Focus becomes natural, not forced. Confidence also rises because commitment creates proof. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about what you want. It comes from doing the things you promised yourself you would do. Every time you take an action that supports your growth, you give yourself evidence that you are serious, capable, and trustworthy. And when you collect enough evidence, confidence no longer feels like something you need to chase. It becomes who you are. You trust yourself because your actions consistently show that you can be trusted. That trust is what allows you to stand taller, speak stronger, and walk into challenges with a sense of certainty. Motivation begins to flow as a natural side effect of alignment. When your actions are connected to growth, they fuel you instead of drain you. You don't have to force motivation because you can see and feel the progress. You can look back at the day and know that you invested in something meaningful. That sense of progress creates momentum, and momentum is the most powerful source of motivation. It's no longer about waiting for inspiration to strike, it's about creating it through commitment and consistent follow-through. The most powerful thing about aligning your actions with growth is how fast the change begins to show up. You don't need years to feel it. Sometimes you only need a few days. Imagine someone who decides to stop scrolling endlessly on their phone and instead uses that time to learn a new skill or read a book. In just 1 week, their mind feels sharper. Imagine someone who commits to moving their body every day instead of sitting in inactivity. Within days, their energy shifts. Imagine someone who chooses to write down goals each morning instead of waking up aimless. Suddenly their days have direction. These aren't massive life overhauls, they are small aligned actions, and yet the difference they create is immediate and noticeable. The danger is that many people know what actions align with growth but still choose the opposite because the easy choice is comfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. It asks you to trade short-term pleasure for long-term reward. It asks you to say no when everyone else says yes. It asks you to keep showing up even when the results are not immediate. But the reward is that your life begins to expand, your mindset begins to strengthen, and your belief in yourself multiplies. The price of alignment is effort, but the reward is transformation. When you commit to actions that align with growth, you are not just changing what you do, you are changing who you are. Identity is shaped by consistent behavior. If you spend your time procrastinating, your identity becomes someone who avoids. If you spend your time learning, creating, and investing in your goals, your identity becomes someone who grows. That identity shift is the most powerful transformation, because once you see yourself differently, you act differently without even forcing it. This alignment also attracts opportunities. People begin to notice your focus, your confidence, your energy. They want to work with you, follow you, and support you because growth is magnetic. Mediocrity blends in, but growth stands out. The world makes room for those who are serious about their own progress. And the moment your actions prove that seriousness, doors begin to open. The process is simple but not easy. You choose growth. You choose aligned actions. You repeat them until the results become impossible to ignore. The difficulty lies in choosing alignment over comfort day after day. But once you taste the benefits, the clarity, the focus, the confidence, the motivation, you will realize the sacrifice was small compared to the life you are building. Because every step you take in alignment is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. Listen to me. There comes a moment in every person's life when they have to make a choice. And right now, I want you to imagine that moment is here. You can either keep living the same way, repeating the same habits, wasting the same hours, or you can decide, right now, to take control, to choose growth, to choose discipline, to choose the life you were meant to live. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but let me ask you, has easy ever given you the life you dreamed of? Has easy ever made you proud when you looked in the mirror? Has easy ever built strength, focus, or confidence? No, easy is the enemy. Growth lives the other side of discomfort. And if you want to see change, you've got to stop running from the hard things and start running toward them. Look at your life. Where are you wasting time? Where are you saying someday when you know you mean and never? Where are you settling for less than you're capable of? Be honest with yourself. Because until you face the truth, you cannot create change. And when you finally do face it, when you look at your own reflection and admit, I can be more, I can do more, I deserve more. That's the moment everything begins to shift. Do you know what the difference is between those who succeed and those who don't? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even intelligence. The difference is commitment. Winners commit to the process when others quit. Winners show up on the days when motivation is nowhere to be found. Winners take one more step when everyone else is standing still. And you, yes, you, have that same ability. You just have to decide to use it. Let me remind you of something. Every great success story you've ever heard started with one choice, one decision to do something different, one moment of courage, one act of faith. They weren't born unstoppable. They became unstoppable because they refused to stop. You can do the exact same thing, but you have to start. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when life gets easier. Now, you say you want focus, then stop giving your attention to distractions. You say you want confidence, then keep promises to yourself every single day. You say you want motivation, then earn it by taking action, because motivation is not a spark that falls from the sky. It's the fire you build by doing the work. So I'm asking you, are you ready to build? Are you ready to look back 1 month, 1 year, 5 years from now and say, that was the moment I changed my life? Because that moment can be today if you choose it. And don't tell me it's too late. Don't tell me you've failed too many times. Don't tell me you've missed your chance. As long as you are breathing, you still have time to create the life you want. You are not behind. You are just getting started. The best part? The only person you need permission from is yourself. Yes, it will be hard. Yes, it will test you. Yes, there will be days you want to quit. But hear me, quitting will not make it easier. Quitting will not make you stronger. Quitting will not make you proud. The only thing quitting does is guarantee that nothing changes. On the other hand, perseverance guarantees progress. Even if it's slow, even if it's small, progress is progress. And small progress every day leads to massive transformation over time. Picture yourself 1 month from now. Picture yourself 1 year from now. Imagine the energy, the confidence, the focus you'll feel because you decided to commit. Imagine how different your life will look when you trade distractions for discipline, excuses for execution, fear for faith. That future is waiting for you. It won't walk to you. You have to walk to it, step by step, day by day. So here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop telling yourself stories about why you can't and start proving to yourself why you can. Stand up. Make a decision. Commit to the habits that align with growth. Show up every day. Refuse to quit. And when the voice in your head whispers it's too hard, answer back with power. I am harder. I am stronger. I am capable. I am unstoppable. Because you are. You always have been. The only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the choice you make right now. So choose growth. Choose discipline. Choose the life you were meant to live. And when you do, you'll look back on this moment, this day, and you'll say, oh, that was it. That was the turning point. That was the day I became unstoppable.